You know, what if I told you that history isn't just something you read in a book? What if it's something you can taste? A currency, a secret, aged just like fine tobacco, where the simple act of lighting a cigar could change everything. Well, today we're diving headfirst into a world just like that. A world of incredible luxury, a deep legacy, and, oh yeah, a profound mystery.
So let's get right into it. Welcome to the CigarFati Academy and the literary universe of writer Edo Cruz, who has dedicated over 65 books to the world of habanos through fiction and just a deep, stoic love for the art itself.
And that question right there, that's really at the heart of what we're talking about today. See, we're not just discussing a famous brand. We're talking about a legend, a secret so deep it has the power to completely rewrite everything you thought you knew about cigars.
And every great mystery has to start somewhere, right? Well, this one begins with an invitation, a cryptic message from the past that finds its way to, well, probably the only person on Earth who could possibly understand what it truly means.
I want you to picture this for a second. A Parisian apartment, but it's more like a museum. The walls are lined with Spanish cedar, the air is thick with the silent history of vintage humidors. Every single object tells a story about the habano. This is the world of our protagonist, Dantes Cruz, a man who doesn't just love cigar history, he lives and breathes it.
And then, this arrives. Just 4 little words, inscribed in gold leaf. La leyenda le espera. The legend awaits you. I mean, come on. That's not just an invitation, is it? That feels more like a summons, a call from destiny itself.
But the note doesn't come alone. It's part of a package, like a puzzle box. Inside, there's a vintage Montecristo No. 4, but it's different. Subtle changes only a true expert would ever spot. Then there's this small vial of a strange amber liquid that almost seems to glow. And finally, an invitation to a secret tasting in Portland, of all places. You see what's going on here? This isn't just a tasting. It's a test.
Okay, so of course he goes. I mean, how could you not? Dantes flies from Paris to Portland, and this is where he steps into a world where the line between history and conspiracy, well, it just completely blurs into smoke.
The location is just perfect for some secret society stuff, right? An old warehouse, and on the door, the year 1935 is etched, the birth year of the Montecristo brand. And the password to get in? Chateau d'If, the name of the very prison where Edmond Dantes became the Count of Montecristo. Yeah, that literary connection, it's not an accident, it's the whole key.
And this is where the real conflict is laid bare. We all know the official story, right? The brand was named after the novel because the cigar rollers loved hearing it read to them. But what if that was just a cover story? What if the Montecristo brand was actually created to protect something much older? A legacy of ancient alchemy, a way to guard forbidden knowledge, a key to a secret war.
At the very heart of that secret is this, El Elixir. Now, this isn't just some flavor additive. It's a sacred formula with roots going way back into the deepest parts of Cuban history. It was developed by African slaves who figured out that a very specific blend of aged rum and native herbs could do something that sounds impossible. It could unlock the hidden memories held within the tobacco leaves themselves. So, at the tasting, Dantes and the other guests finally get to smoke La Leyenda, the cigar made with this elixir. And the experience it's just transcendent. The flavors are impossible, they shift and they evolve, and with every puff they tell stories of a past that you won't find in any history book. It's literally like smoking time itself.
And right at the peak of this incredible experience, the host reveals the real reason they're all there. And it's a bombshell. This wasn't a tasting, it was an initiation. And the secret they all just tasted, it comes with a price. By smoking that cigar, they've all just become players in a very, very dangerous game. The doors lock, the shadows move, the trap is sprung. So we go from this unbelievably luxurious tasting room to a place of total despair. The whole thing flips from an intellectual mystery to a brutal fight for survival. And all those parallels to the Count of Monte Cristo, they're about to become terrifyingly real.
Before they can even begin to process the betrayal, bam, federal agents swarm the place. Dantes and his friend Sandro are arrested for crimes they don't even understand, and they're shipped off to a black site in Guantanamo Bay. Just like Edmond Dantes, they've been thrown into their own modern-day Chateau d'If, silenced before they can tell anyone what they've learned.
But even in this prison, they're not alone. They meet this old man,
a living legend who seems completely out of place. And he reveals who he is. He was the very first official reader at the Montecristo factory, the voice who actually read Dumas' novel to the original rollers. So, just when all hope seems lost, a mentor appears in their darkest hour.
And this old reader, he lays out the entire epic true history. It starts centuries ago with the slaves and their elixir. Then in 1935, Montecristo's founder, Alonso Menendez, stumbles upon this formula and secretly builds his entire brand around it. But when the Cuban Revolution is about to break out in '59, he hides the secret, splitting a map to its origins into 3 pieces. And today, a shadowy group calling themselves the heirs of Dantes is hunting for that map, and our heroes are now caught right in the middle of it all.
And that's when the story shifts again. It's no longer just about survival or escaping. It's about legacy. It's about becoming the new guardians of a sacred tradition, a truth so profound you can only really understand it through fire and smoke. The mentor reveals that there are 2 sacred cigars, and they are the keys to this entire mystery. The AK, which represents the ancestral memory and the pain of its African creators, and the Atabe, a tribute to the indigenous Taino goddess of tobacco. You see, these aren't just cigars, they're living history, a physical bridge connecting cultures and worlds.
Then, in a final, powerful act, the mentor sacrifices himself so Dantes and Sandro can escape, but not before he passes the torch. He tells them his purpose was never his own freedom. It was to make sure the real story lived on. He passes all of the sacred knowledge to them, making them the new guardians. Which leaves us and them with the ultimate question. Okay, they've escaped, but now they carry the weight of this incredible legacy. They hold the keys to a secret history. But to unlock it, they have to perform one final, fiery ritual. So what truth, what final, mind-blowing revelation is waiting for them in the final ash of that last sacred cigar?
If you liked it, if you enjoyed it, if you learned something new, definitely subscribe to the channel, because we are just getting started. And remember, you can now enjoy the complete collection of writer Edo Cruz on Amazon, with over 50 books dedicated to the world of habanos. The only way you're going to find out what happens next is to dive into the full story. Thanks for joining me.